ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà o ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà o kékeré jòjò ló máa gbé tèmi ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà kékeré jòjò ló máa gbé tèmi ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà o ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà o kékeré jòjò ló máa gbé tèmi ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà kékeré jòjò ló máa gbé tèmi ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà kékeré jòjò ló máa gbé tèmi ọmọ òwe ìgbẹ́ dàgbà.
Servant of the doer of brilliant, beloved son, Abdul-Bar Olorire, as we fondly call you. You are Allah's gift to us. Your birth was a miracle, so we chose to call you servant of Allah, the doer of good. Do not associate partners with your Lord. Hold on to the pristine Islam. The Prophet is enough as a role model. Let the Quran and Sunnah be your guide. Do not give in to temptation, my lovely. May Allah protect you always and make you the coolness of our eyes and the comfort of our hearts. We love you. Now, shall we read Baki's own? Abdul-Baki, servant of the everlasting. Beloved son, our precious sprout, you are a blessing from Allah. You are precious, you are adorable. Your Lord is Allah, the ever-living, the everlasting. Do not associate partners with your Lord. Guard your Islam from shaitan, an open enemy. Is shaitan our friend?
No.
Brilliant. Shaitan is our open enemy, of course. Let the Quran and Sunnah be your guide, for in Islam lies the true success. May Allah keep you upon goodness and make you the coolness of our eyes and the comfort of our hearts. We love you. Come on, big up, big up. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome every returning subscriber, and if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Sahida. First of all, I am a Muslimah. I am someone's child. I did not fall from heaven, of course. I am someone's missus and a mom to two adorables. I am based in all United Kingdom. I make videos about life as a Muslimah, parenting, business, hijab reviews, and hair care, of course, because I am a professional hair coach and trichologist in making. Do subscribe if this is your first time here and turn on your notification bell. And if you are one of the old G's, welcome, lovely. How are you and yours? Motherhood. Motherhood, Sha. You know, one of the days that I would never ever forget are the days that I gave birth to each of my kids. It was such an amazing and incredible memories that I have ever experienced. With the surgeon telling me categorically in the theater that I had to be sedated to sleep to bring my child alive because of internal bleeding and complete detachment of the child from the placenta. The doctors were surprised that he came out alive. But look at my baby. Is worth the risk, alhamdulillah. Maybe the birth of this boy is a story that I will tell one day, so that pregnant moms will learn from the mistakes that I made in his pregnancy that almost claimed our lives. And here is the servant of the everlasting Lord. His birth was another big rahmah from Allah. Another medical emergency, kind of, even though it was nothing close to the traumatic experience of the birth of his brother. This made me wonder why my gender will not mind losing the flat tummy, the feminine feminist, or going under the knife to have a little human. But now I think I have an answer. I think I know why we go through so much risk to have a mini horse. One of which is because nothing is compared to holding their tiny soft bodies. You become instantly aware of a love so intense and special that goes far beyond your wildest dreams. And as they grow, you realize that the love felt was never divided, it only multiplies. And this always makes me wonder, who can love a man the most, his mother or his wife? And who loves a woman more, her husband or her father? I know that we could debate this till eternity and still not come to a conclusion. But what I know is that the love of a good parent for their child is pure and genuine. It comes with a lot of giving without expecting anything in return. Okay, we all collectively agree on the juicy parts of being a parent. Most parents also do agree that taking care of a child and his or her many needs can be physically and emotionally exhausting. It is a lot of work to raise kids. It is. Ask parents of successful children how they manage to raise their kids. I mean, success in terms of their worldly affairs and in their relationship with Allah. They will usually say, ọ̀pọ̀ òjò ló ti rọ̀ tílẹ̀ ti fà mu, meaning it was not without a lot of challenges. I mean, success is when your kids grow up and are well behaved and pious. It is indeed a lot of work because already as a person, you have your own things you are dealing with. It could be your job, business, career, or maybe a battle that you fight within you that you don't even have the right words to explain them. It could be mental health issues, physical illness, emotional battles, and a lot more. Yet you need to still look after some other human beings while you also try to look after yourself. Parenting will humble you. Parenting is indeed a life commitment. Before I had kids, for example, I had some few friends that we were so much into each other. We will attend each other's events and even make up time to visit each other just to catch up with a lot of things. I also had the time to become a mirror or female head to some small Muslim youth groups. Like there was always time for other extra activities. But when I started having kids, they basically started taking a lot of hours that is available for me to spend in a day. And finding time for fun activities or extra activities became almost impossible. And the least you will ever think of is a time out with friends. I mean, when you have little kids and a lot of to-dos on your list that you haven't even done. Nothing prepared me for this far. I kind of miss being free without having to think of any other person but myself. Even though it doesn't mean that I want to go back to being single and free. No. But then, not only did I find being a mom really exhausting, but it can be an emotional roller coaster. I have felt feelings that I have never experienced before. On the not so good days, it could be despair, resentment, humiliation, and even guilt. And on the really good days, it is usually pure love, elation, triumph, and pride. And then I start to realize that until I start to thrive, then they will. And the way to go is to learn a new approach, to try new strategies. Then I can take charge of the merriment and challenges that comes with parenting, and I can change my parenting story. It is a hard work. It requires training and lots of mistakes to uncover the parent in me that feels comfortable, calm, genuine, and true. For example, despite trying severally to practice purposeful parenting, I still find myself yelling and getting controlled by my emotions at times because I could just preach and sing about love and compassion to the kids this minute, and in the next minute, they could start fighting. Oh, I then took time to understand what brings about the tantrums, misbehaviors, and overwhelm at times. And then I started to develop strategies to deal with them. For example, My kids would not use any cutleries in my house except that particular one that they believe is theirs. For example, I will usually say, please use any plate you see, don't stress my life. But then they will end up throwing tantrums, which usually gives me headache. To give them a reasonable and age-appropriate control over their own lives, I let them choose their favorite one. So Abdul Bar will always want to be served in blue plates. Abdul Baki is team green. Even to the smallest things like spoons, their cups, trays, etc. It is always suffocating at times. But then I remember that growing up, I always had my own plate and one particular spoon that I chose for myself, and nobody dares use it. I know they agree. At times, I think that it is payback time because truly there is karma. Let me show you exactly what I am talking about.
No, this is not mine. This is not mine.
Okay, eat your food.
No, it's not mine.
Come on. I don't have time for that.
It's not blue.
Wait, I'm coming.
Mommy did it wrong.
Wait, I'm coming.
Blue. Okay.
What's the problem? Is it not the same thing?
Is this blue?
What should you say before eating?
Green color green. Green is for the back.
No.
Green is not
Both
for
of you can use it.
Anyone, you can use anyone.
Yeah, bring it.
any color.
Advaki, is this yours? This is yours, right?
It's blue.
So, well, who owns blue?
About.
So, yeah, bring it back. Bring the back over.
I don't want blue.
You don't want blue?
No.
Quran is Quran, whether blue or green or any color.
I want green.
You can't read this one. This is for you, Alif. There is Alif here. You can read this one. During the early formative years, kids are learning how to meet their own needs, and letting children choose their things at times increases creativity. But then they should be made to learn to share their favorite things. Okay, this is the best time to ask senior mommies. Does parenting get easier when the kids are much older? You know, when they already know right from wrong? Because I always wish that they are already adults and are more accountable. But mommies with older kids will usually say, oh, it only gets tougher, especially when they get to the rebellious teenage years. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, because I believe that this stage is one of the hardest. Maybe because I am currently in this phase. It is tough to parent toddlers, and maybe that is why teachers prefer schooling high school students than the kids in the foundation stage to avoid going crazy. It is not easy receiving complaints, judging cases, and stopping fights hourly. Imagine coming back from work. I opened a parcel, went into the room to drop my bag, and this was what happened within 40 seconds. I actually felt like just running away that day. I was too tired to deal with that. Imagine opening their tiny mouths to tell me that they are making snow. Can you drop your address, sisters, especially if you are my neighbor, so that I can run to your house next time instead of going crazy? But then maybe the sister that would have invited me over to her house to clear my head is currently dealing with this. It is every man to his own problem, so I have to deal with mine. And you know how difficult this thing is to get rid of. It took me forever to clear. I mean, this is the time where the adrenaline in you will be pushing you to say, Mark Mabugbo parenting strategy, my you. The funny thing is that once they become adults, you will miss them as kids. You would miss their innocence, their naivety, their tiny bodies. But then they will never become kids again. So let us learn to enjoy the moment and make wonderful memories. Because wallahi, they grow up super fast. Successful is the parent whose children grow up fearing Allah and are responsible adults. May Allah make us happy and successful parents. The next part of this video will be highlight of some things that I currently do with the kids to shape them into upright adults. But certainly Allah is the one that guides. Parents and guardians can only try. Just like you would see in the next slide, I reduced screen time because I don't want them to grow to become adults who will be present but distant. Have you seen young boys and girls who are phone addicts? They can lock themselves up in the room for days. They will disengage from everyone else, but they will press their phone from morning till night. Some married men and women do too. It is a very stinking habit. I believe that we all need a phone detox. We should go from phones to tablets, like the old clay tablets, which has now metamorphosed to the modern day books. Let us train ourselves and kids to love books more. It would save the world. Assalamu alaikum. Just like every other kids out there, my children also love to watch cartoon. But what I do is that I streamline what they watch. So I make sure that they only watch, Islamic cartoon. And it is even some selected ones like Zaki and, I like this in Bikia one, Dada and Me. The ones that do not really contain musical instruments. But notwithstanding, there has to be discipline. So what I do is that despite the fact that they only watch Islamic cartoon most of the time, and not just Islamic cartoon, they watch the conventional ones, but then some selected ones that are, educative, those educational ones, teaching them reading, writing and stuff. Recently, not very recently though, I noticed that the old cartoon thing started to consume them. Like they became almost addicted to tablets. It is always cartoon. Even when they come back from school, what they want to do is to watch cartoon from morning till night. They don't mind. I stopped giving them access to cartoons and in fact any television programs on Mondays to Fridays. So no matter how much they crave for it, no matter how they try, even if it is Islamic cartoon, even if it is Zaki and the good ones, the educative ones, I stopped it because I noticed that this thing has become so rampant. Even we as adults, we are so connected to our phones and our gadgets that even the most important things like the relationship that we should be building with our children and our family members, it is almost non-existent. Like comparing our lives, with social media, gadgets, technology, and the lives that our grandparents and parents lived. I would say they enjoyed and valued relationship more and the most important things. So what I have been trying to do these days with my kids is to, ditch the tablet as much as possible and as much as I can replace tablets with books. So I actually started with myself because, to be honest, I like to press my phone too and I like to be on laptop. So as much as I try to discipline my children, I'm also trying to discipline myself. So I bought a couple of Islamic books, those ones that have captivating pictures. I bought a couple of them. This one is my first book about the Quran. Yes, I bought this Mecca and Medina activity book. Learning to read, I still use Queen's Premier. I was telling someone how this Queen Premier improved my son's reading, my 5-year-old boy. To be honest, before we started using Queen's Premier, he struggled with reading. But I remembered that my dad used this Queen Premier part 1, 2, 3, 4 to teach me and my other siblings how to read. So when I, mentioned Queen Premier to some of my colleagues, they were like, Queen Premier is outdated. There are other ones that we can try and, stuff like that. But to be honest, I'm like, this Queen Premier, for me, it is working. It is working. To make reading fun for them, I got this mini chair. So most of the time they just sit on it and put their legs on the footstool, just to make it fun. So this one, we read it every night. It has 30 short bedtime stories. So when I read it with them, I try to, simplify it because some of the grammar are quite complex. So I try to simplify it for them. I read it and explain, and I ask them if they have learned any lessons. So I try to help them to relate to the story better, by breaking it down and telling them what they should take from the story. Like, okay, do you remember how Yusuf was bold and strong when he faced a little bit of challenge? Or do you remember how Fatima was so kind to the old woman that she gave out her praying mat to the old woman in the masjid, and all of these things. So this is just what I have been doing recently. I make sure that they read at least a book a day. I believe we need to go from tablets to tablets. I mean the electronic tablet to the paper tablet. We started with clay tablets and stuff. That being said, while we continue to nurture and raise upright children, let us also remember ourselves. We love our kids and our spouse so much, which is good, but let us love ourselves too. Sisters, let us have a life outside being a mom and being a wife. Our life shouldn't revolve around these things alone. Pamper yourself, set goals for yourselves, pursue that career you love, start that business you want to, book an appointment for pedicure, go on holidays if you can. It is not every time ever. Eat shawarma today, learn a skills, create a life for yourself, do whatever makes you happy as long as it is halal. You have to be sane and healthy to take care of those adorables and your household. If you crash from being overburdened, everybody will adjust and move on. You are also a priority. Be kind to yourself. Once again, don't forget to give me and the kids a thumbs up for this video, even though they almost broke my phone. Subscribe and share. Make sure you comment. To the mommies who are awaiting their bundle of joy, may Allah bless you with the little humans as soon as possible. That will be scattering the house you take your time to tidy up. And for those moms who have lost theirs at any point, may Allah comfort you with massive blessings and replace your loss with asanat upon asanat. May He unite you both in Jannah. I am also praying for those heroines that lost their lives while trying to birth their kids. May Allah forgive all their major and minor sins and rank them among the martyrs. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.